Good afternoon, CFM. This is Coach Matt. Welcome to another week of training. We have a little bit of pressing volume work on the board for today, as well as a fun little 3-round, 4-time workout. So let's begin with 2 rounds of the following warm-up sequence. It's going to be 2 minutes of cardio and then 2 minutes to complete a short little dynamic warm-up set. The dynamic warm-up set, I'm going to just get a PVC pipe, do some pass-throughs, 8 reps of that, and then go find your favorite pull-up bar and do some kips, because hanging and working the scapular muscles is really important for setting our posture before we do our pressing work, either vertically or downward, both of which we're going to do today. And then after you finish those 2 movements, get your bar set up, get your barbell out. We will go from the rack for our strength work today and practice some strict shoulder presses, right? Where we are specifically working on squeezing those shoulder blades back. Try as hard as you can to get that bar right to your throat and move your face in order to accommodate that vertical bar path. All right, so 2 rounds through that warm up. Should be relatively quick, 8 to 9 minutes total for that. Then we will start from the rack for our shoulder, or our pressing volume work, but it also is going to involve some legs, right? So it's got a little sequence to it, and my guidance in there is start around 60 to 70% of your shoulder press, 1 rep max, although we're going to be doing thrusters and push press in it, okay? So the way this will work is you'll do 1 thruster and then 2 push presses, and then 1 thruster and then 3 push presses, 1 thruster, 4 push presses. I believe I got all those numbers correctly. And that is all one big set without putting the bar back in the rack or on the ground or anything else, okay? So it is doing a barbell complex, but the complex is just those 2 movements of thruster and push press, okay? So take the bar out of the rack, thruster, and then push press, thruster, push press, etc. Okay, and then when I'm done with the 4th one, put it back in the rack, assess, should I go up, should I go down, was it too heavy, too light, and then go on to your next set. So we're gonna get 4 sets through of that. Immediately following each set, we're gonna get your rings, and we're doing 1 round for max reps of ring rows, okay? So max reps of ring rows, we're gonna say if you have to stop and catch your breath, that's the end of the set. So I don't want, because you could probably just hang here and relax and get like 60 reps if you wanted to, but I want you to go to 1 accumulated set of failure of ring rows, okay? So think in the range of like 16 to 20 reps per set. And again, the goal of today's workout is accruing some volume in the pushing and pulling at a moderate load, right? Okay, and then we're gonna take that into our conditioning for today, which is going to be 3 rounds through of 3 exercises. One of them is body weight, which is just running, or our cardio for today. The next one is going to be ring dips, 25 reps of a ring dip. And I also always say the numbers on these are negotiable, right? So if you know that 25 ring dips, even heavily scaled, is going to be a big number for you for 3 rounds, then let's cut it to 16 or something. Let's make some smart decisions. You do not need to just reflexively do exactly what is on the board if it's not good for your body, okay? That is the number 1 rule, is we only do things that are good for us in here. And if 25 crosses the boundary, then we need to cut it back, okay? So ring dips, I'll have my rings out in front of me. I want to go down to the bottom where my shoulders are below my elbows with my hands tight to my body, and then I'm pressing up until my elbows are straight and my thumbs are pointed away from the body. Now, if you can do this without your hands or without your feet touching the ground, that's great. If you need to use a little bit of tippy toe to jump and push yourself up, you can play with the height of the rings to get exactly right amount of tension there. You can also use a band like so. You can just drape it over the ring like that, and then use the weight of your hand to hold it in place. And my only caution on this one is that it is a little tricky to get into the rings, into the band when you do this, and it's tricky getting out because you can pop your legs down and snap the ring or snap the band back up towards your face, okay? So just be careful when you do that. And then the last one is just a kettlebell clean. And of course, I need a kettlebell to show you, which I forgot. But we're gonna do 16 reps or 8 reps on each side. So the kettlebell clean, we'll start from the ground and then we're gonna go to the shoulders, right? And notice how the kettlebell stayed really tight to my body, and in slow motion, my elbow pulls out and then around and through, right? So you can think about elbow going away and then punching underneath so that the kettlebell rotates smoothly around my wrist and doesn't bang the outside of my arm, right? So this is my preferred version of the kettlebell clean. It is absolutely possible to flip it up and over smoothly. It's a little bit more difficult of a movement. So I always recommend everyone try the rotational version first. And then if they're really good at that and they always want to be a little bit extra with it, then they can go do the flippy version second, okay? Both of those are valid. The one that I want you to avoid is the one that smashes the metal on the outside of your wrist and your forearm and leaves you with bruises afterwards. We don't want to do that, okay? So it's 3 rounds through, those 3 exercises for time. Have a great one, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.